A very good afternoon to you and thank you for staying with us. Nigeria's representative of the Nigerian South African Forum has apologized to the South African community for the actions of a few Nigerians. The apology comes as a forum to right the wrongs of the recent xenophobic attacks is currently underway in Johannesburg. Now, I'm joined in studio by Newzroom Afrika reporter Malungelo Booi. A very good afternoon to you, Malungelo. Why don't you give us a bit of background as far as this Nigerian South African Unity Forum?
That's right, Thami. So this forum was formed, early this month, shortly after the attacks on migrants in some parts of Gauteng and the country, really. We know that those attacks left at least 12 people dead, and 10 of those people, we have been told, were actually South African nationals and 2 were migrants. So this forum was formed by some South Africans and as well as Nigerians who live in South Africa. Essentially, they're saying that they formed this forum in order to be able to assist government in dealing with this problem of attacks on migrants. They're saying that part of their job really is to begin a conversation with South Africans. We know that they'll be visiting some communities here in Gauteng, and engaging with these communities about the importance of foreign nationals being here in South Africa and the reasons why they're here. But also, they're saying that they want to sort of like there's some myths that they also want to dispel. For example, one of the myths they're saying they want to dispel is that all Nigerians that are here commit crime. So they also want to change that narrative, Thami. And so we've also had an apology, really, from some Nigerians who were part of that forum, saying that they apologize for some of the wrongs, really, that have been done by some of their own in this country. And they acknowledge that some of the Nigerians that are in South Africa are in fact involved in criminal activities. But what they're saying that also South Africans, we cannot and we should not assume that all Nigerians are criminals.
One of the things that they also wanted to focus on is highlighting the role that other African countries have played in the struggle for liberation for South Africa. Tell us a bit about that.
That's right. In fact, it's one of the things that they believe it's very important. They believe that it's something that, as South Africans, we need to know that, some of our struggle heroes were actually in exile in some of these countries. And these countries also played a part in making sure that we have this democracy that we have today. We need to acknowledge that. So there'll be also, when they go out to these communities, Thami, those are also some of the stories that they'll be sharing with us as South Africans in many of our communities. But also, they'll also be visiting, Thami, the Nigerian communities here in South Africa, to talk about the concerns South Africans have and where these actually concerns emanate from.
Are there any implementable solutions that have come from this forum?
Well, one of the things, Thami, they're saying that they have to do, the starting point is having a conversation. They're saying that conversations are important, and they feel that if we don't talk, if we don't have these conversations and start to dispel some of the myths around one another, we're missing the point. So they're saying that they're drafting also a program that will have time frames on how they tackle these issues they want to deal with. But also, Thami, here's what's interesting here. We're hearing these members of this unity also saying that it's important that government deals with criminals. It is important, and government needs to deal with that as a matter of urgency.
So let's talk about the stakeholders
Sure.
in this Nigeria-South African Forum. Who actually makes up this forum? Is it foreign nationals who've
Sure.
come in from Nigeria?
Sure.
Is it Nigerians who are already living in South Africa? Are there any representatives from leadership structures that are involved in this forum?
So well, the picture that I saw today at that gathering, most of the people that were there, I mean, there were Nigerians who are currently in South Africa and also South Africans. And there were also members from various religious organizations. But what they're also saying, Thami, is that there will be academics, there'll be business leaders. In fact, they've gone as far as to make a call to every South African and every Nigerian in this country who want to be part of this forum in finding a solution to this ongoing problem to join it.
I'm happy you highlighted the fact that it is an ongoing problem. Is this then going to be an ongoing forum? Is this a structure that is going to live beyond today?
And one of the things they acknowledge, Thami, I mean the members of this forum acknowledge, is that some of the problems that the country has are problems that government clearly can't solve alone. They're saying that a church needs to play a part, civil society group needs to play a part. You and I have a role to play in solving some of the problems that we have. So they're saying that this can't be just a forum that will be available this year alone. It's a forum it's a structure that has to be part of this country if we are to deal with this problem, which continues to reoccur. I mean, every year in this country, we hear stories. We report on foreign nationals being attacked. They're accused in some cases, well, of being involved in crime, but also in some cases of being of stealing people's jobs.
So what's going to happen in between forums? What's going to happen when they're not meeting? Are they going to be meeting periodically? Is there some sort of a movement that has been created?
So that's exactly what they're trying to do. Here they're trying to create a movement of some sort. I mean, they'll be meeting again in 10 days from now. That's when then they will be telling us when exactly are they going to these communities, which communities, in fact, they have identified that they must go to first. And it was quite interesting. They were saying that they'll be involving these professionals, academics, and also young people. So what they'll do, they'll bring young people from who belong to the Nigerian community to be part of a dialogue that will be taking place at a South African community, so that so that people can get to understand each other, and also the level of thinking, so that the level of thinking is also at the same level in dealing with this ongoing problem. Really, we can't emphasize it enough. And Thami, this comes really in the wake. We know that President Cyril Ramaphosa about a week ago deployed special envoys to several African countries, including Nigeria, where these envoys were actually taking the message from the president, saying that, well, there is this problem, but as the country, we are trying to deal with it. But also one of the messages that these envoys were telling these African countries or African government was that South Africa is committed to the rule of law.
Really interesting to see what will come out of this Nigeria-South Africa forum, especially because it's not just a once-off, but they're actually going to get their hands dirty. They're going to go into the communities, engage communities in dialogue for meaningful change.
And that's very important, Thami. I mean, we can all have discussions in studios and in boardrooms if we don't go to communities, because that's where problems are. And these and the members of this forum acknowledge that they have to be at the grassroots level. They need to listen to what people's concerns are. And they're saying that you can't have, you know, people living in fear all the time when they're walking in on the streets. We know that, you know, when South Africans walk on the streets, they're petrified. So are some Nigerians when they're walking on the streets. They're petrified. So members of this forum say that's just not good. We need to do better. Hence, these two countries are coming together in trying to deal and find a solution to this problem that is really refusing to go away.
And I'm sure that we as Newzroom Afrika will be with them in the trenches as they go down to see exactly what transpires during these conversations and how the various communities are reacting. So thank you so much, Malungelo.
Thanks, Thami.
That's Malungelo Booi on the Nigeria-South Africa Unity Summit and the work that they plan to do and continue to do in the various communities around the country.